Okay, this little video is going to show you how to wrap your pipes. You don't have to do it, but I think it looks pretty sharp on there. And then what we're going to do, we're going to wrap the pipes while they're on the bike. You know, on this bike, I took the pipes off, and man, it was so much work getting them back on there. So I'm going to show you how to do them on the bike. Let's get started. Before we get started, now let me just mention to you that you can do all kinds of fun stuff with this wrap. Look at this bike. What I did is I put I started out with a black wrap, and then I just went over after I did it and I camouflaged it. I just used some paint I had around the shop and some brushes, and I just took a picture of a camoed job on something else and kind of duplicated it. So there's all kinds of neat stuff, fun stuff you can do. Here's another bike that I did. I did this in white, and then I took some black paint mixed in paint thinner and just kind of rubbed it over the outside. Kind of gives it an old weathered look. It's going to get ugly and dark anyway, so I thought I'd weather it a little bit. You can paint the wrap before you put it on too. I'll show you how I'm going to do this next bike. Before we get started, okay, what you want to do is you want to cut the roll of wrap in half. So we've got half here and half here. Okay, the half that I'm working on, I'm soaking in some water. I want to soak that and get it good and wet. And then what I did is I took some black paint that I had here at the shop, and I actually painted the one side. You notice the black is kind of a gray on this side? So I just kind of painted that one side. You know, it's you don't have to have special paint. Just get it kind of close and just spray it. You know, it's not real critical because once you wrap it on there, it's going to look really nice. So anyway, I'll show you how to put this on the pipes. Now the fun part of the wrapping begins. Okay, what I've done is I've taken the roll of wrap. This is the half of the roll. What I've done is I've wrapped it around the pipes about 4 or 5 times like this. Just leave it loose for now, and what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and wrap this. We're going to start wrapping, then we're going to shove it up toward the header. So I'll show you how to do that. Okay, what I've done is I've overlapped the top at least once, and then what do? You kind of start pulling it really tight as you go, and you want to, when you get as you get wrapping here, you want to have about a half of an overlap. Half of the width of the roll overlap. So kind of start pulling that as tight as you can as you start wrapping it down. This is a patient man's art here. Just keep going around, and then I'll be back. Okay, I'm wrapping down, and you notice I've got about 3/4 of an inch here from wrap to wrap. Don't want to get it too close, or you won't have enough wrap. So go ahead and keep pulling that really tight. Now as you get toward the bottom, you're going to have to start feeding the wrap through the openings there. So it's going to take a little bit, so just going to have to be patient with it. And then after we get down a certain length, we're going to shove this up onto toward the header pipe. Okay, after we get 5 or 6 inches of wrap here, I'm going to just very carefully start twisting this up and start pushing it up toward the header pipe. Okay, pull really tight as you go. Now when you get to the cross pipe down here, you're just going to have to kind of go around that, and then as I come around the bottom, I kind of go up toward the radiator a little bit with one wrap and then start back down again. You don't want to go too many times in one area. It'll leave a big blob of wrap there. You want it to be nice, same diameter all the way down. I'm going to keep going. Okay, I've gone the rest of the way down, I've gone all the way to this clamp right here, and then I've put these 2 stainless steel wire ties on. I'll show you how to do that in just a second here. There's a secret to that. And then keep going as you go down. Make sure that you don't get the wrap like twisted or something. You know, it's easy to, as it loops through, to get it twisted, and you don't want that. You want to keep it nice and straight as you go down through. Then another thing, you can always feed the tape through this area and then kind of work it down toward the end as you feed it through, because it's hard to feed it through that area right there. So anyway, there it is. Let me show you how to do the wire ties, and then we're finished with these. Okay, now this is how I do the wire ties. Okay, what I do is I loop that through like that. Make sure that the clasp is on the outside of the bike. Then sometimes you have to kind of push a little bit to get it started. That one went right through. And then as you tighten those on the pipes, sometimes you can get pliers and pull on here and hold this with your fingers, or even shove a screwdriver against there and pull on that. But you want to get them nice and tight as you can. And then as I'm pulling on it, what I'll do is I'll bend it over like this. I'll bend it over. That'll keep it from backing off a little bit. And then after I bend that over like that, then I just take some wire cutters. I cut, oh, maybe an inch or a little more right there. Just squeeze on them really hard. If nothing else, it'll leave a little mark on there. Then you can bend them and it should break off. Okay, now that's really razor sharp. So what I do then is I bend this over. You gotta be careful. You can do it with pliers. I bend that over like that. And then you can take some pliers and give it a squeeze. Like that. And then if I bend this over like this, sometimes I'll just tap on it like that. And then there you have it. Then you have a nice rounded edge that you won't catch your fingers on. So go ahead and do that, and then I think your wrapping job is done. Oh, and one other thing, if you do have sensitive skin or whatever, or if you do use wrap that's not the stuff we sell, some of it's really, really fiberglassy. You may want to wear the thin rubber gloves when you put this stuff on. Okay, well there you have her. Oh, one other thing. The wrap will stink like crazy for a while until you run it and it'll smoke. But don't worry about that. It'll go away.